Welcome to another episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. My name is Dave Palumbo, and I am talking with Chris, the technician Aceto. You've heard me say it before. I'll say it again, and it is New Year's, January 2nd, 2017. Chris, we're into another year. I can't believe we're still doing the show. After, I don't think we've, like I said, I don't think we've missed a show ever. Since I started the RxMuscle show with the Romano back in February of 2009. So we're going on, I guess you could say, 8 years here. And we just have been a fixture here every week. And I guess it's like therapeutic for you and I. We have to do this to unleash all the frustrations and hostilities we have from the week prior to this. And let everyone know what's going on in the world of bodybuilding. So sometimes they let us know, but...
it's Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. But you know what? It's interesting. This is the first New Year's I got to spend with the Aceto family. So Chris drove down from Miami to Cape Coral and spent New Year's with Johnny Styles, his wife Corrine, myself, and my wife Amanda and Logan. And he brought his 3 kids, and we had a grand old time at my house. And then we went to Golden Corral, and everyone ate like we haven't been fed in a week. And all was good in the world. So that was.
I think the kids liked your house. I don't know if they liked it more or about on par with Disneyland. I got a cold, so I call it Disneyland. We went to Disneyland for the first time ever. I call it Poison Land because everyone is from everywhere, and they bring every cold and virus and and bug possible. So I got a bad cold when I was there, and then. But we did make it to your house, and the kids, between the dogs, the turtles, the cats,
snakes,
the snakes especially.
Yeah.
The snakes, they never held a snake before. And they had a chance to hold 200 different snakes.
Not only did they hold the snakes, but they wanted to hold the biggest ones too, which is unusual for kids to want to hold big snakes.
Yeah, I was surprised,
And then Chris was even holding. You were even holding the snakes.
I figured if they held it,
right? And, you got to show them that you're a fearless father. Yeah.
They all looked deadly to me.
Yeah.
But when you told me that they're like domesticated, like if they were out in the wild, they'd probably die. Then I said, okay, I think I can hold one.
Every time I thought we were done, your son would be like, "Can you take another one out?"
Yeah, sure. Exactly. One more. Wait. Even when we went into the house and came back, he wanted to take him back out.
And I have to just tell the audience this because Chris's sons are so Acetoized. They're like I guess it was your oldest son was asking me like all the business questions, like the Jay Cutler business questions, like so how much does it cost to get started with these snakes, and what does the caging cost, and the vet bills, and the food bill, and how many times they have to eat, and
he wanted to know when I saw your Golden
how much you sell them for.
No, he wanted to know, is there a profit in snakes? He used that sentence. Is there a profit in snakes?
There's a bigger profit in snakes than there is in bodybuilding, that's for sure.
Yeah, I said, I went back to, I said, that's the point. I said, that's part of the point of homeschooling. If you want to, raise snakes or kitty cats and turn it into a business because you love doing it, this is what I tell them. Then that's what you should do. Right. But if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor, plumber, school teacher, you should enjoy what you're doing.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're just going to be miserable.
Oh, I saw. Of course, I'm a big believer in that. It's funny because your son also asked me. He's like, "Your cat, how much did that cost?" And then I told him that I had bred Persian cats back in the '90s, and then he went crazy because he didn't. That was unexpected. He didn't expect me to tell him that.
Yeah.
Then he started asking me the cat question. Well, how much do they cost, and what do you sell them for? And I said, well, cats are a little more, require a little more care than the snakes because they got to be fed every day, and you got to clean their litter boxes, and they have vet bills. And he's like, "Oh," I said, "Reptiles are way more profitable." I said, and less work.
Yeah. They love the whole. It was the Dave Palumbo experience.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Sure. They said they want to come back when the studio's built. That's what they told me on the ride home.
Oh yeah, they saw. Right, we took you guys over there to show you the shell of the studio that's being built right now, and they were fascinated by the construction that was going on there. It's funny because I love kids that are interested in like nature and how things work, and most kids don't care. They just want to sit and play video games and go on social media. Your kids are very inquisitive. That's the way I was when I was a kid.
Yeah, they're into, you know, they ask a million questions. Sometimes they ask me, and I say I don't know the answers. You know, 'cause it's questions all day long from the minute they get up to the minute they go to bed. You know what? Driving home, they thought they were concerned that Johnny and his wife were going to live on the second floor, and they said they wanted to know if you were going to put windows in there.
We are actually 2 windows.
Yeah, but they thought they were going to live up there. I said, no, that's where the studio is going to be. And
They'd probably love to live up there, believe me. It's going to look pretty nice up there when we're done. That's so, because Johnny was showing him his room. He's like, "This is my room," because they thought probably it was his bedroom.
Oh, that's where it came. Oh,
yeah.
that must have came. But that's where that came from. If Johnny said
he was showing him the studio,
room.
which is where he's going to be, but they probably thought that was his bedroom. And I said, "Well, Kareen will be over here. This is that was her desk," but they probably figured that would be her. Maybe she's not sleeping in the same bedroom as Johnny, you know. So
yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Well, I told you that the 3-year-old was wild the whole day and night, and I said, Dave,
God.
He's not even going to last 2 seconds.
In the car ride,
And
did he fall asleep?
No. He made it all the way to Miami before he fell asleep.
What? He was up that whole car ride?
That whole car ride, and he has this little sword that he got from Disneyland.
Yeah.
That when I was driving, he was hitting me.
Just to give people an idea, Chris's youngest son who's super cute, 3 years old. We all went to the Golden Corral Buffet. You know, he was eating. Your wife takes him up to help him, pick his food out, and he was just bouncing off the walls. And we figured, I figured it's probably a sugar high. Chris is like, he'll fall asleep in 3 seconds in the car. He was acting delirious, like at the end. And it was really funny, actually. And then he's up the whole ride. Oh my God, he must have been driving everyone crazy because what he was doing is, I didn't know what his thing is. He runs at you and then jumps into your arms, right? That's his.
Yeah, so you have to catch him or he's going to get hurt.
Right, but I didn't see him coming. He just jumped at me and grabbed me around the waist. It was so funny. Johnny's like, you have to lift him up. I said, Johnny, I have bad shoulders.
I thought he was going to take out your knee.
Yeah, right. Imagine that. Well, then Chris's wife yells at him. She says, "Don't run, or what? You're gonna hurt you." No. You were chasing your 3-year-old around the parking lot, and your wife's like, "You're gonna hurt yourself," and I'm thinking she's talking to you because you're running around in flip flops, and then all of a sudden the baby goes right down. He falls right on his hands, starts crying, and it was good. We had a good time. Like I said,
you saw Troy Alves.
Troy Alves had a baby.
Yeah, Troy Alves had the tax deduct. He sent me a picture this morning, and I said, "Is it 2016 or 2017?" And I said, "If it's 2017, maybe it's one of the first." And if it's, he said, "No, it's 2016." I said, "Well, you got the tax deduction."
Yeah, you get tax deduction. It's funny because Troy has grandkids, so his grandkids are older than his kid, which is kind of a little weird. What do you call the? Because technically, the kid who was just born is the uncle or aunt. I don't know what
of
sex
the daughter
of the daughter of the grandkids.
Of the grandkid, yeah. Of the daughter, listen to me.
Of the grandkids. Oh my God! So their aunt, or what is it? A boy or a girl? Yeah.
A girl. And there's a story with that. They because nobody's perfect, right? They went to the doctor, and they did whatever you do, and they determined the sex, right?
Right.
And sometimes doctors say, like at the last minute, "Oh my goodness, there's 2 babies there."
Right.
What? So they went and they said they were having a boy. So it turns out they're having a girl, but Troy had already run out and had made cigars made. It's a boy, and had a party with all his pals, and it's a boy in hats. And
how could they mistake that?
They make mistakes all the time. I don't know. I don't know.
Because on the ultrasounds, Chris, you see the penis from the baby.
I don't know. Maybe it was
double sex or something. I don't know. We'll have to get Troy on and ask him. It's crazy. Yeah. That's a surprise. What does he have? Does he have all daughters?
He has, all daughters.
Wow.
He has a daughter.
So he thought he was having a son. He was all happy.
Another daughter.
So he thought he was going to have a son. He was probably all happy.
Yeah. said, "Don't worry, Troy. I'll have another boy."
So, Chris, it was your birthday, 50th birthday. So everyone's got to say, send Chris on Instagram a happy birthday. I know a lot of people did already, but Chris's wife had pulled a fast one. Now, I never talked to your wife before this week. I never met her. But she, I guess a couple weeks ago, I got a text from Chris's cell phone, and it said, "This is his wife." And I had to sneak Chris's phone away from him when he wasn't looking. And I sent these text messages, and she's like, "We're throwing a party for Chris's 50th birthday, and we'd love to have a video, for you to make a video saying happy birthday to Chris and surprise him." So I was like, this is kind of weird. I said, I wonder if anyone hacked his account. I said, it's got to be real. So I had Johnny film me, and we forwarded her the video. And on Chris's birthday, I had forgotten that I had done the video, so I didn't text Chris the whole day. And so when I texted you at night, I'm like, I fucking forgot. Sorry, happy birthday, Chris. And then you said to me, I already saw your birthday wishes, and then I remembered the video.
Yeah. So
my question to you is, who actually sent in videos that I would know, at least in the bodybuilding?
You did. Mike Francois did.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
Evan did. Troy did. Guy Sistanino's like rated R. He did. You had to mute it. You had to mute it for the kids. It was like
it was aggressive. It was aggressive.
Roden did. I think that's about it.
You said Cedric didn't.
Cedric didn't.
Cedric's not like, this is a hacked email text message. I'm not messing with this. He probably thought we were going to put it on the air. That's what he probably thought.
To play it.
I'm not giving that Palumbo guy any content for his site. What's he do for me? Just tries to make me look bad.
I could have thought it was content. You never know.
Yeah, that's probably what he thought. He probably thought he probably thought I was trying to bamboozle him. That's what we should do from now on. I'm gonna send a text message to Cedric when we hang up. I'm gonna be like, this is Chris Aceto's wife. I'm texting you from Dave's cell phone now because I'm really upset that you didn't send us didn't get a birthday message from you. To make up, in lieu of that, can you do an interview on the Heavy Muscle Radio show to make up for your inadequacy of not sending the birthday wishes?
No.
Man, they're trying to scam me. I knew it.
Can we put in a dig against Alamo rental cars?
Yeah, I heard you had some major problems with Alamo. These rental let me just tell you something before you tell them the story. The rental car agencies have these insane policies that have no logic to them whatsoever. Believe me, I've dealt with them before, and I've screamed at them, and they hit you with hidden fees, and I deal with, I'm like you, I rent a lot of cars, so when I get someone that does something screwed up to me, I go crazy, because I'm like, look, I rent cars all the time. Don't tell me this is your policy, because I rent from you every single week, during the busy time of the year. So I can understand the frustration. What exactly happened to you?
So I go to the Fort Lauderdale airport and I check in. I get a contract through Hotwire, which I always prepay for my car, but this time I didn't prepay. But I get a contract, to rent a car from Alamo, and I get to the window, and the guy goes, "Would you like to?" I said, "I'd like to add my wife as a second driver."
You see, let me stop you right there. That's where you went wrong. I don't even tell them anyone else is going to drive the car. I know that you're supposed to do that, but I don't do it because I don't even want to get into it with them.
You're right.
But yeah, finish the story.
You're 100% right. So we have different last names. She kept her maiden name. So that's fine because I got homeschooled kids to back me up. You watch how they come into play. So the guy goes, it's $10.99. This is the first guy. It's $10.99 to add her per day. Well, it's probably like 25 days. It adds up.
Of course. Plus, the car probably only costs $25 a day. Yeah. It's double. It's 50% of the cost.
Yeah, it's the principle of it all. So he goes, well, if you take, I said, this sounds, that's ridiculous. And he goes, if you take roadside assistance, like a AAA type thing, which I have AAA,
right,
for $5.99, then you can add the second driver for free. And I said, so I can add the second driver for free if I pay the $5.99 fee to
roadside assistance.
For roadside assistance, and I can add my wife as a second driver with a different last name than me. He said, yeah, sure. I said, so that's it, right? I said, I'm declining that too. I'm just add her anyway, and don't charge me. That's how I talk to people. You just add her. So I can't. So I said, no, let me see your supervisor then, because I rent Alamo all the time, right here, Fort Lauderdale, 3 times a year, sometimes 5 times a year.
Right.
If I go like the Nationals or whatever. So the supervisor comes out and he says, you got to show a marriage certificate.
Like you just happen to be carrying one in your pocket.
Of course. And, I went nuts, and so the guy said, he said, I'm not renting to you, except
who said he's not renting to you?
The supervisor. I'm not renting to you. I'm not renting to you. Sorry. Enjoy it. You can't get a car Christmas, the week before Christmas.
Right.
A van. We need a van. There's none,
right.
So I said, no, don't worry. You're renting to me, or you I don't know if you'll lose your job, but it's not going to be good for you. Believe me, if you don't rent me the car.
Now, just to stop the story here, you could have diffused the whole thing by saying, you know what, forget it, don't add my wife, and you could have just walked out of there.
I know.
But at this,
I know,
no. But at this point, I know you're pissed. You're pissed at this point. I don't blame you. It's principle.
Well, it's from being on Iron Debate too many times. So I pull out my Hotwire contract and I said, see this right here? We call it a contract. See it on the top? Contract. I don't see anything in here where you can, you have the right at the Alamo desk to say that I can't rent for you. So just pull it around and everything. This is my 12-year-old's right there, standing right there.
Do they get embarrassed when you start getting like that?
No, they want to know where it's going. they get embarrassed, but they know there's going to be something like flying soon. I can feel them get embarrassed, and I have to turn to them and say, "Don't worry."
Yeah. Do you control your language when you're?
No, that's why it's escalating.
Yeah.
No, and I'm shouting, and the guy's shouting at me, and so he tells me this is their policy, and I said it cannot be a policy. Here's why it can't be a policy. Simple as this. I rent right here. See this guy right here behind the desk? His name's Angel. I said, I actually, I know he doesn't recognize me, but I recognize him.
Right.
And I've added people as my wife as second driver, so.
I know it can be done. Right.
I just need to know, how about this? On what authority do you have to confirm what a marriage license looks like in Spain? He said, why Spain? I said, because you require a marriage license. And you wouldn't know it. I mean, this is international city, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So you wouldn't know what a marriage license looks like if someone was dumb enough to bring one from Spain, Portugal, or even Maine.
Right. True.
So my 11-year-old said, how about this? We have my mother's first name and my father's last name. That would technically make us, right, a family. You would assume that they're married, right? That's the 11-year-old. Right. But this is a lot of foul language is being thrown, and he's almost crying. But I say, you know what? You are absolutely smarter than me, which makes you smarter than him, which is the guy who's giving me the hard time.
Yeah.
They still won't rent to me, Dave. So it gets really crazy. It gets really vulgar, and so now it's like a major.
Like, are the F-bombs flying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Major scene. Major.
So you basically became your dad, essentially.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I'm not proud.
No, it happens to me too. Believe me, I know.
So a supervisor comes. And first thing I say to him, some guy, he comes and comes down from heaven on a cloud. He talks nice. He looks not sweaty like everyone behind how can I help you? And I said, well, who are you? He said, I'm the supervisor. And I said, oh, the supervisor who was, when I asked, can I see the supervisor? They said, I am the supervisor, but go ahead. And he starts filling out the paperwork. He said, for me to rent the car. And I said, are you allowing me to rent the car? He said, yeah, sometimes, he said, people travel, they get tired, flights are canceled. We know this is not a business like going into a restaurant where, you go out and you make an ordinary transaction, sit down, have dinner with your wife.
Which is good, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he makes the guy who gave me the hard time take my credit card and fill out the application. You know me. Here's where my wife just can't stand me. I said, how's it feel now that you, Mr. Big Shot, who said, I won't rent you a car, like you are Alamo, and now you have to fill out my own, take my credit card, my information to rent me the car, which you said I couldn't have. And my kids are still there. And I say, you know what, kids? I said, you know what? This guy has to go back. I'll be happy if we can send him back to the Alamo rental school where he can learn, take anger management class.
So now you're mocking him in front of your kids,
your
kids.
Yeah.
which I'm sure is pissing them
which
off.
my kids didn't like and pissed them off because they didn't like that I was mocking them. But I had to give them the apology, which was really technically not apologetic.
No, you just were basically diffusing the fact that you actually got to, say ha 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 to the guy.
But the nonsense of it all. But you were right. I should have just said, yeah, we're not adding a second driver.
That's what I do. Unless I'm in like an arguing mood. Like if it was like something I needed, like he's like, you have to take this this coverage, and I'm like, I don't need to cut. Then I would argue with him. But if I could have just stopped it right away, I would have just said, okay, you know what, forget it, never mind. When we pull out of the lot, I'll just let my wife drive after that. I would have said something obnoxious like that probably. When you guys don't see anymore, then I'll just let her take over.
Now they have when they you have what do you pass the insurance? You don't take the insurance, you reject it, and what do you use, your credit card or your
I said my credit card insures this, or my home insurance policy covers it.
Well, now they try to bamboozle you with, they'll say, well, Mr. Palumbo, your insurance may cover like the dent, but
not the
we rent this van for we rent this van for $87 a day, and we're going to lose $87 a day, and we're going to charge it to you unless that loss of income on Alamo's part, we're going to go after you, not only for the damage, like the actual physical damage, but the quote loss of income, because while they're fixing the car, they're losing the $87.
Right,
they try to give me that, and I said,
know.
Get on it.
I know. Yeah, exactly. It's a high.
But we got the van, and then the van was able to get us to the Golden Corral and to the Dave Palumbo Snake Center.
Now the Golden Corral in Cape Coral, this new one, everyone seems to who has eaten there. I don't know if you've eaten other Golden Corrals. They seem to think this one is a better quality one. Have you eaten at any other ones? I haven't. This is my only experience.
I haven't. I have in Georgia, and what I found about this is, it's definitely cleaner. Like the car, like the seats and the carpet, and newer. So it, at the very least, it gives the appearance of like clean food because the place is clean.
That's what it is. It's all an illusion, basically.
Yeah, I think the cholesterol and the saturated fat and the sugar is still embedded in the food.
Well, it tastes really good, so that's all I know.
But we did notice Johnny commented on all the old white-haired people who eat there, right?
Oh, there's always. The funny thing is that I go there enough that there's the people who work there know me, and the people who eat there know me. Like there's, I don't know if you saw that one big heavy guy.
The regulars.
There's regulars there. I didn't realize that there were regulars. I could theoretically be considered a regular at this point, maybe, but because they know me, because I was upset because it was Christmas, it was New Year's Eve, and we had gotten there I guess 2 hours before they were going to close, and I guess they weren't making more food, and they had run out of the baked fish, which I like, and they ran out of like chicken, which I like. So all they really had was red meat options, and I really wasn't in the mood to eat red meat, and so I was kind of bitching a little bit to them. I was pulling an Aceto, and when I went back to my seat, I don't know, you saw the guy come over to me. He's like, we're going to bake you some fish. Don't worry about it. And he brought this huge plate of baked fish out for me, just for me. So it was pretty nice.
He brought you like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, right?
Yeah. So, and then I said to him, can I bring some of this home? Because, I don't want to throw it out. It's a waste. I'm not going to eat it all. He's like, yeah, no problem. Just ask your waitress. I asked the waitress. She's like, it's $6.99 a pound. I said, $6.99 a pound? I said, there's at least 2 pounds of fish there. I said, it'll cost me more than the whole meal cost me. I said,
yeah, I was going to say, what's it, $8 to eat there? How can it be?
This fish, I said, is probably $1.99 a pound in the wherever you buy it from. So anyway, I didn't take it home, needless to say. I really was kind of fished out.
I actually did eat the shrimp, even after sending you the article about the shrimp.
I know, you did. I saw you. You had a very good...
With the antibiotics. It probably got rid of my cold and my flu with this.
I put the video up, and people were... I don't know if you saw it on my Facebook page. I put it up.
I haven't seen it yet.
People loved it. Because I think this might have been the first appearance of your family anywhere, anywhere, right?
Yeah, because I don't have Facebook.
No.
And in Instagram, I just post bodybuilding stuff to instigate.
You have a Facebook page. I always tag you in it, but I guess you don't really.
I know, but I've never ever. I lost my password, and I'm too busy to.
Request a new password.
Yeah.
They say Facebook is for older people. I guess I'm considered an older person. I enjoy Facebook more because I can type more, but I actually have way more followers on Instagram, and I don't really nurture them. I put pictures up on Instagram, but I'm not like an Instagram fanatic like Johnny is or you are. I enjoy Facebook more because I like to read. I like to read people's pages, and Instagram is just like it's like too quick hit. It's like quick hits.
Yeah.
Not enough information for me. So, and I, you know what? I think I'm afraid if I get into Instagram that I'm gonna it's gonna be even more time that I'm gonna spend on the phone. So I do put pictures up on Instagram, like I said, because I have over 50,000 followers, which amazes me when I think about it. Because I would think I have a lot more. I would have more followers on Facebook because I nurture that more, but I don't. Evidently,
people
more bodybuilders
don't have
on
the
Instagram.
attention span for any,
Yeah, well, I think it's just people like Instagram better. There's more bodybuilders on Instagram. You know, I think for the snake stuff that I do, I like Facebook better. I think more snake people are on Facebook. But you know what it is? The young generation loves Instagram. So like if you're not on there, you kind of lose their business. So
yeah.
Because everyone.
I'm gonna promote the Instagram. See if I can go to the IFBB and promote the Instagram Olympia with all the doctored photos. I see people's photos. I'm like, wow, this guy looks like I've never seen condition on. People can filter photos into right?
Yeah, well, remember that photo of Rami when he was out of shape at the show that he won, and then they filtered the picture. And
it was
I don't know what filter is. I don't see this.
Yeah, exactly. One day he was 40 pounds of water, and like 20 minutes later, he was same photos. He was peeled. Yeah,
Mr. Olympia. So, you know, a lot of people go out and drink on New Year's. I have to admit, I actually, because I was also starting to feel, my son was sick and my wife was sick, I guess like a week ago. And I have been taking my Titan Medical Center injectable vitamins, like glutathione and all the amino acids they gave. And I'm like, I'm not getting sick. I just wasn't sick. Everyone else was sick around me, and I was not sick, and I was taking those shots religiously, and I felt good. And my wife's like, you'll get sick. Because the baby was sneezing in my face. You couldn't have been inoculated with the virus he had any better than I was. And all of a sudden yesterday, I felt a little scratch in my throat, but not really, and a little cold. And I'll tell you this, and this happens to me a lot because I'm really big on the vitamins I take and everything like that. I will get sick, but a very mild version of it, and it won't last very long. So I do have a little runny nose, but I don't feel bad. My wife was knocked out when she had it. I don't feel like I have to sleep all day. I'm not having trouble breathing. I'm not coughing like the baby was, or my wife was. So I definitely think there's something to taking the right supplements. A very strong antioxidant like glutathione, which you can only get through injectable form. You can't take a glutathione orally. It's not absorbable. I definitely noticed that my immune system has been better since I've been taking it. And, I highly recommend, even if you don't want hormone replacement therapy, which is what TitanMedicalCenter.com is really great for. If you go over there to the website and contact them and tell them Dave Palumbo sent you, you get a discount. You could just even get the injectable vitamins, which are great. Like I said, the glutathione preparation, it's got the glutathione, it's got the B vitamins, B12, and also it's got a whole bunch of great stuff in there for your immune system, for recovery. And then they have their other formula that has the amino acids in it, like the leucine. You take it post-workout, the branched chains in there. And they got a couple formulas. They have a Tighten Up formula with injectable L-carnitine, where you can get better fat burning from. So you can check it out at TitanMedicalCenter.com. They, like I said, they have terrific customer service. And if you want to get on hormone replacement, testosterone replacement, you can do that through them too. They will send you for blood work and wherever you live, and you can do a Skype consult with the doctor. You don't have to go to Florida at all to get to get anything. They'll do it all online with you. So
like the Jetsons, right?
Yeah, it's look.
No, with the whole
in this day and age,
right?
people
don't make a doctor's
people don't have the time to go to doctors anymore. And so this online medicine is really great. I mean, especially if you're not really sick, and this is just for feeling better. It's like hormone replacement. There's no reason to really go to the doctor's office. They send you for the blood work so they can look at your blood work and make sure everything is okay and that you're a candidate. And then they can prescribe it, and you don't have to leave your house. You just give them your credit card and they ship it to you. I mean, come on, that's the society we're in now, and we don't. It's all about convenience. Time is money. And so a lot of people don't have time to go get in an airplane and fly to the place. And so this is terrific. The terrific service they're offering over there at Titan. And I want to wish Charisse and her husband a great New Year's. And I'm looking forward to getting my next order. They always send me something cool. That they sent me. They've been sending me a lot of HCG now because Amanda and I are trying to have another baby. And so that's I get like back in the day when I would get my steroids, and that's how I feel when I get my HCG. And
Oh, you get excited about it.
yeah, because they send the syringes, they send the HCG, they send everything. They send a little water, how to mix it. It's so cool that I can get excited about anything nowadays. Because you're like me. I mean, if you want something, you go buy it. But you can't go to the CVS and buy a bottle of HCG if you need it. If you want. So this is like.
Yeah, exactly.
This is great that I get a little package in the mail, and I'm like, yeah, I got my package. I either get an Amazon package in the mail or I get like a Titan Medical package. Those are my two favorite ones to get. I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt that Johnny got me for Christmas.
I saw that Princess died.
Yeah, well, I think we didn't talk. We said that last week, I think, but
yeah,
but the mother died.
The mother died the next day.
Debbie Reynolds, yeah,
Crazy,
Carrie
right?
Fisher's mother, yeah. So a lot of people died in 2016. Yeah. A lot of people.
Yeah, Prince, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, just the list. The guy from MASH, the doctor on MASH died.
Yeah, we went over the whole list. I went over the list last week with John Romano. That's why you're not remembering this conversation.
Yeah. I was stuck at Disney.
You were stuck at Disney, yeah. Chris says to me, "I'll be home in an hour." I'm driving.
Dave, that was
and an hour passes, 2 hours passes. I'm like, Chris, are we going to do the radio show? It's like 11 o'clock at night. He's like, I'm still driving. 3.5 hours.
We went to Legoland, which was in Winter Park.
Now, before you go into Lego, is Legoland is the whole place made of Legos, or is it just
No, it's the attraction to get kids in and their families and their fathers and mothers.
Because that would be cool if all the buildings were made of Legos. That would be really cool.
but it's just like an amusement park.
They could probably do that, right? You know what you think?
Yeah, they could, of course. But they do have they have a section where they have the strip in Vegas made right to the replica T minus the Trump building. I noticed with Legos, and then
you're gonna get yourself in trouble with these Trump supporters. I got news for you. I get some hate emails with the Aceto, with the anti-Trump rhetoric. They're very upset about it.
And then they have downtown Manhattan with right to the T with the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building. The whole 9 yards. They have Paris, all built in Legos. It's amazing. The detail is absolutely intricate. So but it's an amusement park, and it's a fun amusement park. It's like an amusement park. They have some good rides and stuff, but it wasn't crazy crowded. But it's an impressive park. But coming back, we stayed in Disney. So when we drove back, it took us 2 hours to get out there. So coming back, I said, Dave, I'll be back to my hotel room in max 2 hours and 15 minutes. Well, you actually
said an hour to me originally, yeah.
Well, okay, no, because I was already on the road. I was on the road.
Oh, okay.
So when we get to in the Disney park,
right,
the traffic was Manhattan on Christmas on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, because people, this is
I didn't know that
this is holiday time. Everyone comes.
It's the busiest day of the year.
You probably paid a lot at the Disney hotel because it's expensive during the holidays.
No, we got a deal in the last minute. We got the deal, which is another story. We stayed at a Wyndham Resort, which is a vacation timeshare. And my wife booked it last minute for $200 a night. And if you sit through one of this
for $200, what do you get? You all stay in the same room?
You get a two bedroom, two bath, beautiful condo. Something that you can see in Vegas.
So you, your wife, and the little one stay in one room, and the other two stay in the other.
Yep, and then it's got park light set. It's got nice. Ponds and playgrounds and gyms and restaurants. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, that's a good deal you got.
Tremendous deal. So they when we check in, we were like the mark. They go, oh, where are you from? We say, oh, we're from Maine. Oh, how old are your kids? Oh, would you be interested in listening to a vacation, exploration and invitation seminar, which means a sales event?
Yes.
To become, a potential partner or something, means owner,
right?
Nothing for this timeshare. So I look at my wife, and my wife says, why not? They said, we'll give you free Disney. If you listen to it takes 90 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll give you free Disney tickets, which is $575.
Oh, wow.
Or we'll give you a free week at one of our resorts anywhere in the United States. So we said, we'll take the free week at the resort,
Right. Which probably has a million block dates everywhere, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is the most high pressure. I mean,
were you screaming at this guy too, the sales guy?
No. I was just listening, completely baffled that I was just observing everything. This was another homeschooling event.
Yeah.
And
your kids sat through this too?
No, they didn't.
Oh.
But they track people around, and they show them the resort, and they try to sell them on any possible way they can suck you and sell you. And
they want you to buy they want you to buy like a couple weeks, like timeshare, right?
Yep. And they want to charge you like $130,000 for this package, at 18% interest, and people are signing up at the end. I just don't even know why.
So you spend $120,000, and what do you get for that?
You get a set. You get points. You don't. You don't even get weeks. You get points that you can use towards weeks.
So you're not buying a condo. You're actually buying like a couple weeks a year, or something like that.
But no, you're buying points. That's why I said, Kim, how many weeks are you buying? Well, you're buying points. Well, why wouldn't you just?
Oh, because certain weeks are probably worth more points, like during
points,
the busy.
And then to stay in like San Diego on the water is a lot different than staying in Minneapolis, than staying in like Montana on the pond.
So this is not just for Disney; it's all over the place. Then
it's all over the place.
Right.
So we politely declined. Right. And because this time, I think it was a reflection of having gone through this Alamo thing. I was extremely, what, sir,
you were starting to say the 1099 looked a lot more appealing at that point, right?
Yeah. You've done a tremendous job. I admire your effort and your passion. We're not interested. And then he wouldn't take no for an answer. Then they bring over the partner to try to close the deal, and I said, we've listened to it. It didn't take 90 minutes. It took 3 hours. We miss our kids. We were going to Disney,
right?
And we obviously, because we were told it was 90 minutes and now it's 3 hours, we can't go to Disney today.
Right.
But we'd like to leave, and we'd like to get our free 1 week, vacation package. And they still won't take no for an answer. So at the end, they bring in someone else, and I said, we have zero, negative, absolutely no interest in whatever you're trying to sell or want to sell us.
Right.
So please get us our certificate. And eventually they did, but people were... I thought they were going to waterboard us next.
It's terrible that they do that. I'm surprised you didn't lose your cool and start screaming.
They put like 70 people in a conference room with like 70 salespeople on their people's backs.
If they sold 5 of those things, they made their money back on the stupid week they're giving you free.
Well, at 18% interest, they made it back like 5 times. I said, what are you selling? You selling points, time, or you just selling an interest rate? I don't even know what. I said. I actually told the guy. I said, you know what? I want to be part of the financing arm that finances this at 18%. I think that they're making the money.
Yeah, you're right. All right, well, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Let the sponsors be heard. When we come back, we'll actually be talking about a little bodybuilding. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
A legendary name in hardcore supplementation. Iron Mag Labs. 100% original, patent pending andro compounds. The most effective, hardcore, groundbreaking bodybuilding supplements in the world. Iron Mag Labs. Revolutionizing hardcore supplementation for more than a decade. Visit ironmaglabs.com. ironmaglabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dave Palumbo, and I just had a protein shake made with Quest Nutrition's new salted caramel protein powder. And I can tell you this, it's on a whole new level. It's a total reinvention of the protein shake. The taste is incredible, and its creamy texture and richness make it taste like a real caramel milkshake. It's incredibly low carb, less than 1 gram of sugar, and 22 grams of protein in every serving. No soy, and it's gluten-free. Just add water, ice, a scoop of protein, and shake it up. It's that easy. I actually look forward to drinking this shake. And Quest Nutrition has got a total of 7 different flavors. They come in convenient single-serving packets so you can mix and match. Check out loveyourproteinpowder.com for more information on Quest protein powders and some delicious shake inspirations. Welcome back to Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, talking with Chris, the technician Aceto, on this blustery, beautiful January 2nd day. We're both in Florida, so we're enjoying some nice warm weather. I'm sure it's probably freezing cold up in the great Northeast. What's the weather back in Maine?
2 days ago, they had 18 inches of snow, which was,
Wow.
oddly enough, the first real snowfall of the year. But other than that, it's back to, it's back to global warming as usual. In other words, two things. Up in Maine, while I've been gone, it's been like low 40s and high 30s, which is very odd, right? It's never, I mean, it should be like, okay, it's the high 30s, and then tonight it's going to be 3 below zero,
right.
High 30s, 5 below zero. It's like 30 during the day, 28 at night. Which is, skews the mean. And then, as you know, right, how many people have been telling you, even though this is your first year in Florida, how warm was December in Florida?
Oh, it was really warm. We had one cold day the other day. People were complaining. The ongoing joke is, yesterday was winter. They get one day of like cold weather.
Literally, I mean, the beach water in Miami is like
warm
late
still. June. Yeah,
it's late June, and the beach, forget about it. I mean, it's like, make sure you bring the umbrella and the sunscreen, and it's just really, really hot. Up until yesterday or the day before was the first cold day of the year.
Well, yeah, 2 days ago, but yesterday was actually perfect. I mean, we were actually standing outside for hours talking.
It was beautiful yesterday.
The weather was ideal. Yeah, it was great. I know your kids play sports up there and they're in school. Well, they're really not in school because you're homeschooled. I don't know how you haven't moved to Florida yet, to be honest with you. With all your houses you have and condos here and there, I'm shocked that you have not.
Well, there was that pause. Did you notice that pause when you said, why don't you just stay down here for the whole winter? And
right.
There was like this odd pause between me and my wife, like.
Oh, because she wants to?
Well, no, we just, like, nobody answered, like, anything reasonable.
Because there's no reason not to, really.
Well, the kids have soccer and they have sports, and I'm thinking, well, they could play down here.
Right. I think you're crazy. I think, especially with the homeschool, you should stay down here in the cold months, and you go back to Maine in the summer when it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, well, I'm 50 now, so you make all those like. I'm supposed to be doing. My wife said you have to try 50 new things this year.
You'll be lucky to do
50 new things. I said I haven't tried 5 new things in the last 50 years.
Yeah. Well, obviously, New Year's Eve was 2 nights ago. Technically, really, it was last night because we were recording this on Sunday. But a lot of people obviously had a lot to drink, alcohol-wise, and a lot of people have asked me if I have any of my Dave Palumbo cures for hangovers. And so I went online. I wanted to see what other people are saying. And a couple of people had some good ones. I'll read them in a second. My cure for a hangover was to never to let yourself get one. And how do you do that? Whenever I would, and I'm not a big drinker, but the couple times I would go out drinking, I had my little run for about 2 years after I got divorced. Number one, before you go to bed, you got to super hydrate yourself. You got to drink, like, I don't care how bad you feel, you got to guzzle down like at least 16 ounces of water. Or preferably some kind of electrolyte drink. I would use coconut water because I'm a big coconut water fanatic because of the sodium and potassium content being the same as our blood serum. Usually, I usually mix that with a protein shake because I sometimes you don't feel like eating. If I ate, however, if I felt like eating, then I would just do the coconut water, and I would take like a million vitamins. I would take like my V Mineralize. I would take anything that had, especially electrolyte wise. And I found that when I woke up the next morning, I felt great. The next thing I did when I would wake up in the morning, because you're going to, even if you drink a lot of fluids, you're going to get more dehydrated. I would then go to McDonald's. That was back in the day, at least. That was my McDonald's because of the salt and grease. For some reason, it just restored you. And when I'm looking at some of these other people's little remedies, they were kind of similar. Some guy said he eats chicken fingers. One guy, Burger King watermelon and bananas. That was the one guy's, which I thought was good. Bananas, I guess, for potassium. Watermelon for the fluid, and Burger King probably for the sodium. Some guy said a grilled cheese sandwich and a Coca-Cola. That would destroy me. Some people said Pedialyte. One guy said drinking an ice cold Yoo-hoo. To me, adding like too much like sugar is not going to solve the problem. You want to hydrate after a hangover. So if you guys are still suffering with a headache from too much drinking for the last 2 days, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, I'm telling you, coconut water, a high potency multi-mineral, multivitamin, okay, because it depletes a lot of vitamins and minerals, alcohol drinking. And you obviously need some substance in your stomach, okay? For some reason, heavy foods, less of them, but heavy foods seem to do better than light foods. I don't know why. Like I said, the cheeseburger is just freaking great after you have 2 days of drinking. I don't know why. McDonald's always did it for me in the fries. I don't know. But you got to do the key is before you go to bed, you got to do the Gatorade or some kind of coconut water. Some guy said Gatorade, coconut water, and coffee the next morning. All three of them. I guess a little caffeine to wake you up. But yeah, that always did it for me. So hopefully no one drank too much. I have a lot of clients, I'm sure you do too, that that we're they're gonna go crazy. They were in the middle of a contest diet, but you kind of just know. Look, I know you're gonna have a little overindulgence on New Year's Eve. That's fine. Let's schedule your cheat meal for this day, but don't continue it into the next day. And invariably, I know on Monday, today, I'm going to get emails saying, "Oh, I gained 5 pounds. I feel terrible," or "I screwed up the diet," and I've already worked that in. Luckily, there's no shows coming up for at least 8 weeks, so 10 weeks, so it's not going to hurt anyone too badly. What does Cedric do? Does he indulge in anything like on the holidays, or he don't even know? He don't even tell you.
No, I don't even know. He's got to have cakes and all that stuff. He's got all the little kids, so he's got to have like.
You think he indulges in that, or does he just rationalizes it? Because he's getting ready for the Arnold, right?
Yeah, he probably cuts into like a piece of cake or something to nibble off what the kids are eating. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's different, right? When you bodybuild and you just like one guy getting ready for a show, you got a girlfriend helping you get ready for a show. He's got like a wife and multiple kids,
Right.
So 4 or 5 kids.
Yeah. And I'm sure they get the whole holiday dinner, there. Cedric on Christmas had the heavy stuff, He didn't have chicken breast and rice for.
I don't think he eats chicken breast for contest dieting. So
he probably had like a suckled pig, honeysuckled pig for Christmas. Here's a good remedy: 2 Advil and a glass of pickle juice. That's good. Pickle juice has got tons of sodium in it.
Oh, trap the water in there. Kill the pain and trap the water?
I guess so, yeah. Matzo ball soup, that's another really good one. I used to go to the diner by my house. They don't have matzo ball soup in Florida, but I'm sure they do. Not on the West Coast. They probably have it on the East Coast in Boca, where a lot of the Jewish people live. But I haven't had a bowl of matzo ball soup since I left New York. I might have to have one when I go back there on January 28th for the Bros First Bros.
Very, very salty?
Yeah, they're not very salt, but there's definitely salt in there. You know what I drink every day when I'm such a creature of habit. My new lunch every day. So when I watch, basically we wake up in the morning early, like 7, whatever, 6:30, whenever the baby gets up. We shower him up and we get everything ready. She goes to the office. And I watch Logan for a couple hours, 2 hours usually, and her mom comes, and then about 11, and she takes over, and then I drive to the office, and at that point I'm ready to get my first meal in, So I go to the Chinese. There's a Chinese takeout place. There's like only one around the office, but it's great. They know my order. I get like a vegetable with rice soup. I get a quart of it, and then I also get chicken with broccoli, usually the extra broccoli, because they always cheat you on the broccoli, with white sauce on it. And I go back to the office, and for some reason that soup, I feel so dehydrated in the morning. I don't know why. The soup just rehydrates because it's got sodium in it. It's not heavy though, so it doesn't sit like it's like a lead weight in there in your stomach. And it's a light soup. And then after I drink the whole quart, so that's a lot of liquid. That's how I hydrate, and then I have the chicken or broccoli after that, and then I'm good usually for the rest of the day until usually around 4:30 when I'll leave and I'll go to the gym and I'll get a workout in 3 days a week, and then I'll go home and have dinner or whatever. But so and I probably have a Quest bar during the day or something like that. So I eat like maybe 3 times a day. But my meals are bigger. You know, I probably eat more food at those meals than normally people would, because I don't eat enough times during the day because I'm just too busy. So that's what I do every single day, and I find that it sits very well in my stomach, and I don't get indigestion. I feel great. I operate good. I think clearly. I probably get a Starbucks decaf coffee in the middle of the day, iced coffee. There's a Starbucks right down the block from my office, and I'm a creature of habit. I'll do the same thing every single day. Every single day, I eat the same thing. And
so when the new studio is built, are you going to be just like commuting from your house like 75 feet into the office on your property?
Right. So I'm going to have to actually leave my property if I want to go get food, which is
that's the whole question is how are you going to get the Chinese meal and the
I gotta find. Well, there's a place around my house. I'll have to go out. I'll have to actually leave my property, unfortunately, to get food. If there's no, because as you saw, my property is a little isolated from all the stores. It's not, you gotta drive a couple miles before you get to the civilization.
Yeah,
and I won't mind that because I'll be at my house, you know. So it doesn't matter, you know. If the baby needs someone to watch him, you know, we're at the house, you know. If the baby, you know, it'll be a lot more convenient, I think. And well, obviously the studio is going to be terrific once it's built, and I'm sure we're going to put some great content together, and I'll have Johnny there, and you know, I have the big driveway so everyone can park in their cars, and it'll be good. Yeah. People love it. We're going to do a lot of content from that. You got
to get a video. Have you put up a video of the goats, your neighbor's goats?
No, I haven't. I should probably do it. Yeah, that's pretty good. I got to do like a day in the life of Dave Palumbo, show everyone the new place. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to show off here, the house and stuff like that. I don't like to sometimes just. I hate to show off my stuff, but I know people want to see like they like to know where we live. I'd like to see where you live. I haven't seen your main house. You got to do some video there. Now that you have an iPhone, you can shoot a little iPhone video, maybe.
Wait, you trying to get content? I'll be like Cedric. You trying to get content?
We got to go up. Actually, we should do a day in the life of Chris Aceto. We should go up to Maine one of these days. Maybe over the summer when it gets warm.
Nice.
We don't want to go there in the winter.
No,
everyone goes to Maine in the summer. That's like the summer destination place.
Yeah, it is. Everyone's up there, and all those little weird little, rocky little coves. They bring the yachts up there from. It's all the Hamptons people who price out of the Hamptons or the Manhattan people.
Yeah, I'm shocked that's Maine seems to be. A lot of people have told me this. The hot spot to go in the summer is Maine. It's not the Hamptons anymore. Why is that?
Well, because they
more exclusive.
It feels more exclusive. You can. It's just like another world. And for I told you, like when I went up to Bar Harbor, that little airport was just the craziest irony. It was going by a little like local airport and seeing a ton of jets. And I was like, oh, all the jets are the people who own jets or own a share of a jet, and they can get to Manhattan in like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But they can zip up here and, take a rental car out to their, 9,000 square foot summer home over, hanging over the rocks in the Atlantic Ocean where, I guess that crazy summer home is expensive in Maine, but it's, compared to buying something in the Hamptons.
Speaking of pilots, did you see two pilots were arrested for flying drunk?
You're kidding me.
That's pretty scary, right?
I didn't see that. But what airline? Was it Alamo Airline?
Alamo. Yeah, Alamo Airlines.
No, what airline? Was it a commercial airline? Or?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to find out right now.
They could have used your the matzo ball soup /
That's probably what they were doing every day, yeah.
Coconut water.
That stuff scares me though when I hear that stuff. Because when you're on that plane, there's nothing you can do. Pretty much, you're stuck. All right, let's see this. Airline passengers in Canada were saved from an incredibly dangerous flight this New Year's Eve when their intoxicated pilot allegedly passed out in the cockpit before being arrested. Police said the Sunwing Airlines cabin crew notified authorities that they noticed the pilot behaving oddly as he boarded the flight bound for Cancun, Mexico. Police later arrested the pilot, charged him with 2 counts of controlling an aircraft while impaired and controlling an aircraft while intoxicated. Wow.
Yeah.
The airline's very apologetic for any upset that it caused. Thank God the passengers noticed it, right?
How many free flights did the passengers get?
I don't know. The Canadian pilot's arrest Saturday follows another incident earlier in the week that forced Indonesian airline executive to resign after one of their pilots was suspected of trying to fly a plane while drunk. It's not even a laughing matter, to be honest with you. So, passengers name suspended and unclear announcements from the cockpit. Some passengers filmed the announcement and posted them online. Others left the plane and asked for a replacement of the pilot they believed to be either drunk or under the influence. Wow. That's crazy. Well, let's... the Arnold Classic people,
Well, how many
it seems,
bring it to
have
4
added
people on the show?
Michael Lockett to the lineup. They don't... They don't... Well, no, there's more people.
Yeah.
They don't normally add people, but I guess since
No, so
Roden
how
is
many
not doing the
do
show
they have?
now,
10?
and I don't know. I'm going to look right now. Let's see what they're up to. Fuad Abiyad, Lionel Baiki, Max Charles, Vitaly Fativ, Michael Lockett, Dallas McCarver, Cedric McMillan, Juan Morel, Luke Sando. That's 9 guys. That's good though. I like when the lineups are short. I don't know. I wish they would do that for the bikini. Instead, they have to have 25 people for the bikini. I don't know why. Let me give you some Arnold. I'm going to quiz you on some Arnold. This is going to be Stump the Aceto. Who won the Arnold Classic in
2004. Let me try to backtrack. Men's 2004. Let's see. Who I'd have to go with. Who? 3, 4, 5.
See how
Jay.
good you are at this. Yes. Good. Who won in 1995?
Francois.
Yes. All right, those are easy ones. Who won
And my clients.
Yeah, the old ones you probably know better than the new ones. Who won in 2014?
2015 was
14.
Okay, 15. Okay,
14.
Okay. So we're 2016, 15, 14. 14. Dexter.
Dennis Wolf.
Oh, that's right. He beat Roden.
Yeah, Dexter won last year. Or, I mean, yeah. Well,
The year
2015.
before.
2015.
15.
15.
Yeah, Wolf won.
I'll give you one more. Who won in 1999? I knew this one.
Off the top of my head, I'd have to say Wheeler.
No, Chris. I was Nasser. That was
Nasser.
somebody.
Backstage, he beat Jay. He was backstage, and you know what's funny about that backstage?
What?
And odd about it is the only person that people didn't talk to was Nasser.
Really? That's strange.
In other words, like, this guy was hobnobbing. Somehow I got backstage, and this guy was talking with this guy. Competitors. They were, even if the competitors aren't enemies by any means, but some of them are close friends, and others they don't know each other, but
Right.
they'll make small talk. Nasser was just by himself. It was
He
just
was always
an
like
odd.
that, though. He was always like that, though. He didn't
It
talk
was just
to
a
anyone.
very odd. It was like
Well, because
no
Nasser
one.
thought he was better than everyone else. He didn't talk to anyone. To be honest with you, I didn't think he looked that good that year.
No,
I
he
thought
didn't.
He
He
could
did
have been
not.
tighter.
He did not.
Yeah.
No, you're 100% right. And you know what? I felt that was somewhat of a. See, it was 99.
Yeah.
He had been breathing down. I thought there was some Olympia placings where he should have been placed higher, and it was like one of these. He showed up like good enough to win.
That's what I think too. Because he should have won the '97 Olympia. They didn't give it to him. They gave it to Dorian. Then '98. He what was he? Was he third at that Olympia where behind Wheeler and Ryan?
Yeah.
And he was probably the best he ever looked. But they were so good, those guys. And then '99, right after that Olympia, he shows up, and I think you're right. I think they threw him a bone there.
Yeah.
That
was
the best bone he got.
LeVron was in that lineup. Jay was in that lineup. Milos was in that lineup.
Yeah.
Cormier was in. I think was Cormier. Wait a minute.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure if Cormier was in that lineup.
You love the money math. So let's see what the payouts this year for the Arnold Classic is going to be. $130,000 for first, $75,000 for second, $50,000 for third, $30,000 for fourth, $15,000 for fifth, and sixth place gets $10,000. And the rest of the guys will get $2,000. So that's kind of cool. So at least these guys are making money.
So it was 130
for first, yeah.
Yeah, I think in '95. So 22 years ago, Mike Francois got 110.
Yeah, it hasn't gone up that much. But you know what? They have more, in defense of the Arnold people, they have more divisions too. So
No, I'm not putting anyone on offense or defense. I just know that he was able to take in those days, you could buy a smoking house for 170. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I know.
You know, in that 130, I don't know where you can buy a smoking house for 170 these days. But 1995.
First place in 212 is $22,000. How does that compare to the Olympia? What does Flex Lewis get at the Olympia?
Does he get 40 or 50 first prize? I don't know.
It's pretty good, $22,000.
Yeah, 22 grand's not bad.
It's $10,000 a second place, so I'm sure Jose, doesn't want to come in second again. That's for sure.
Exactly. He has no intention of coming in second.
I think Jose is really pissed off about this last Olympia and last year in general, and I think we'll probably see the best. You would know better than I would, but I think we're going to see the best one yet.
Yeah, well, he's got 8 or 9 weeks. He's far ahead of where he was 8 or 9 weeks from the Olympia. I think the weight differential is 16 pounds lighter with 8 weeks to go.
Right. They got the pro wheelchair division again this year. That's cool. $3,000 for first place, $2,000 for second, $1,000 for third. That's nice of them to do that. The Fitness International, which is, let's see what they give away for that. That's $25,000. Right? So
that's good money.
That's good money. Yeah. Get a good lineup. Oksana Grishina. Hopefully, we'll have a better routine. I didn't like her routine last year. She did that Michael Jackson routine. I'm a big advocate of Oksana Grishina. I don't know if she's slowing down with age, but the routines haven't really tickled my fancy the last. Not that they have to tickle my fancy, but they haven't really done it for me this past year's routines were not great. I know she does the same routine for the Olympia and the Arnold, so that's probably why. But I just wasn't digging her routine. I don't know if she was injured or what, but I wasn't thrilled about it. But she'll be back to defend that. Who won the first? Let's see if you know this. Who won the first Fitness International?
What's
first
it?
year they held.
Mia Finnegan.
No, she won the first Olympia, but the first Fitness International was won actually by Carol Semple.
Oh, Carol Semple. Talk about that's right. I remember when she won that. Actually,
yeah, she was good. She won the first 2 years actually. Oh,
God.
I think she actually had three. She had 3 victories according to this. She won in '94, 95, and '97.
Wonder what was her background? Gymnastics or something?
Yeah, she definitely.
She was good. Interview. She'd be a good interview. Yeah, she was very good.
She was good. She won the Olympia 1 year too, I think. Pretty sure.
And then what? She quit, or she got hurt, or
I don't. She competed for many years. She had a good career. She had a long career. She kind of was doing fitness before there was actually even a fitness pro division. I think she was doing it in other organizations, and then when they finally started one in the NPC and the IFBB, she switched over. I think at that point, she wasn't the youngest competitor at that point. So she was, she kind of got into the end of her career. But she was good. She had good routines. I thought the routines years ago were much better. I mean, aside from Oksana Grishina, I thought in general they had better routines in the 90s and early 2000s. And then it kind of wasn't as good. After Jen Hendershot kind of left, because she had some wacky routines, I thought the skill level went down. Kelly Ryan had some great routines back in the day. Speaking of Kelly Ryan, her and Titus is still in. Well, we know Titus is going to be in jail for his whole life probably, but she's still been in there. They had originally said that she was getting, I think, 6 to 12 years or something like that, and that she'd probably be out in 4, with good behavior. And she's been in for what it seems like 10 years already, right?
Yeah,
it's got to be. When did they murder that as their assistant? Do you remember what year that was?
Oh gosh,
I know I was with MD at the time.
I don't know. That had to be. Let's see. It had to be. I'll tell you when it was. I'm guessing. 2006, 5.
Was Jay friends with them?
On the periphery. That they both lived in Vegas.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Paths crossed in the gym. But not friends.
Everyone knew Craig. I mean, but they didn't.
Yeah,
they weren't. They weren't hanging out with him. I think it says 2005. Yeah. So it's been over 10 years. Yeah. So she's been in jail.
I know.
She must be coming to the end of her sentence because she's going to do the whole thing. It seems like if she's been in since 05, because that would be 2015 would have been 10 years, and now we're going on 12 years, actually. So,
Are you going to interview her when she comes out?
yeah, she probably won't be anywhere to be seen, I'm sure. What could you say to her? Why'd you kill her? I mean, come on, you know.
Yeah.
Unless she wants to do a complete, you know, yes, we killed her and tell the whole story. I mean, I'll be happy to get her on. I'm sure Barbara Walters. I'm sure Barbara Walters would rather have her before I would, but.
No, I mean, because people can. You know, human being has the ability to spin and rationalize and.
She's probably so different.
Make up and lie, and so it's either yes, I did, or, you know, here's a story you never heard, what really happened, which is, you know.
If I got that story, I'd probably go viral, because people love to know what really happened, you know, that day. Only the two of them know what happened, and the chance of Craig ever admitting it is 0 to none. He's probably convinced himself in his head that he never did it.
Yeah, well, that's part of I said the human, you know, just to rationalize and convince, you know, justified or.
Yeah, I think he's convinced. I don't even think that he has any. He probably doesn't even know the real story anymore. He's probably brainwashed himself so much.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating that you just said that. I didn't even think so. You're 100% right.
Because he's a criminal. He's a criminal person. You know, that's what criminal people do. They convince themselves that the lie is the truth, and there's no reality. They probably, if you hypnotize him, you can get the truth out of him. But he probably couldn't, even if he wanted to tell the truth. She probably can. She probably relives it every freaking day of her life when she's in there, I'm sure. Terrible, you know. You know. Also, they were on drugs when they did it, so I'm sure, you know. The details might be a little foggy, you know. At this point, it's been 12 years already. So anyway. So we got a great year coming up, Chris. We got I'll be in 2 weeks. I'll be in San Diego, California for the Secrets to Becoming a Diet Guru course. I'm holding in Hardcore Fitness in San Diego, hosted by Derek Farnsworth out there. I just did last week. I did a live with Pete Ciccone, who's obviously owns that 619 Muscle out in San Diego. He's going to be coming to the course. Louis Uridel, the Big Sexy, will be at the course. Obviously, Derek and his wife will be there at the course. There's going to be a lot of celebrities in the house. I have a lot of pressure to really perform on that day. It'll be a 10-hour class, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll hang out the whole day. I'm sure we'll go out to eat and have some good times. So a lot of people have been signing up. We're almost full. I think we have 3 or 4 spots left. So guys, if you're thinking about doing the course, don't wait, because the problem with that, usually I can sneak extra people in. That room only holds so many people. So. Don't wait. I know what's going to happen at the last minute. I'm going to have people contact me. So just try to get signed up within this next week. I know a lot of people have got their Christmas money now, and they've been signing up this week because they have some cash to do it. But it's going to be a great course. You know, I talk about nutrition, supplementation, performance-enhancing drugs. We go into detail on how to write diets, pre-contest, off-season, men, women, last week contest prep, drug cycles, you know, steroids, growth hormone, insulin, peptides. I go into everything. I don't leave anything out. There's no stone unturned. And if I do not mention something that you want mentioned, you just bring it up and ask the question. That's the beauty of it. It's a one-on-one experience with, you know, it's a very small class, and people are all there with the same interest. And you don't have to want to become a coach. You might just want to educate yourself as to how your body works and learn the science of what's out there, because a lot of people have a lot of knowledge, but they don't know how, or the mechanisms of how things work. And if you learn those mechanisms, you're going to have the ability to manipulate your body and help other people and problem solve. Because look, everyone can follow a diet on a sheet of paper. What happens when things go wrong? You know this, Chris. You use your instincts and say, okay, what do you think I should do? All right, change this and this and this. But what I do is I mechanistically lay it out in scientific terms about what you do, how you break down the problem. So you don't have to use intuition. Okay, this goes wrong, you do this. If this goes wrong, you do that. And that's empowering to a lot of people. I know it is to me. When I went to school and I learned how the mechanisms of how the body worked and biochemistry and physiology, I felt like, oh my God, I know I understand it. I get it now. And that's really what I'm trying to do with the Secrets to Becoming a Diet Guru course. So guys, sign up at DavePalumbo.com. You'll love it. I have Quincy Roberts is coming out all the way from North Carolina. He booked it, and he's been competing since Leon Brown was competing 60 years ago. So we're
He's,
going to have a lot of good people at that course. I know there's a lot of people on the West Coast that are doing it because they're happy that I'm holding it out there. I think I even have a guy coming from Hawaii. So, guys, remember, it's January 14th. Also, January 28th, Johnny Styles and I will be going to New York for the Secrets for the Bros vs. Pros at ProFit Gym in Deer Park, New York. Jerry Scalisi's confirmed he will be there. Akeem Williams will be there. Colette Nelson will be there competing for $2,000 in prizes. Bench press for reps. Men will be benching 225 for reps. We have an under 200-pound category and an over 200-pound category. The women will be benching 60% of their body weight. And then in the deadlift, the women will be doing 160, all of them, and then the men will be doing 315 for reps. And then we do, at the very end, we do a 1-rep max in the deadlift, which is always super exciting because everyone's exhausted from the day, and that's, we give away prizes for that too. So in the 200-pound category and the over and under 200-pound category. So, and we'll be live streaming it on RxMuscle.com, of course. And Alex Luca, the owner of ProFit Gym, she has a great barbecue. She gives tons of free food, samples, species nutrition stuff. She's a huge retailer of our products, and I'm looking forward to heading out there because she throws a huge bash over there, and it's really exciting. It's free to come, free to enter, and look, you can go home with some money and some bragging rights if you beat any of the pros. So that's going to be exciting. That'll be at the end of the month. So, you know, I try to schedule stuff, Chris, that's exciting in the month of January because I know there's no contests and there's nothing really going on in the bodybuilding world. So we do all our content. We're going to have a ton of TV programming, Iron Debate, Iron Rage, Dave Palumbo Rant, Q&A with my Ask Dave segment. We have the Muscle in the Morning every day. The YouTube channel is growing by leaps and bounds. If you haven't subscribed to it, make sure you subscribe to show us your support. And, you know, things look good. You know, why cut back, as Bleckman would say? Although I don't know if they're going to be in business. I haven't heard anything over there from...
It's quiet. It's quiet.
Marcus Welby side. Yeah. I don't know if anyone. I think everyone's owed money. That's why. You know, there's no one left over there. I think the Bleckman's salary cap has exploded basically.
Yeah. Who's? I mean, right? It's just very quiet. It's very.
I wonder if Sean Ray's getting paid. I heard the rumor that Sean Ray's not getting paid too. I figured he would be the only one getting paid over there.
Yeah. Well, what about who's there in terms of athletes? Is it Dexter or Wolf or
Dallas McCarver has a contract, a new contract. I know that, so he's getting paid. Whatever Ron Harris is not getting paid, the money's going to Dallas McCarver.
Just gonna say he's getting paid with Ron Harris's money.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
maybe Ron Harris can invoice Dallas for the difference.
Anyway, so that's all she wrote. And once again, I want to say I had a terrific time. I want to say in the air, you know, with you guys and your family and meeting your family. And you know, even Amanda said when you left, man, I wish they lived down the block from us. That would be great. You know.
You know what? Tell her this. You know what they said on the ride home?
What?
We wish we lived across the street.
We got to get you to buy the property 2 houses over.
Nobody would get anything done. Tell them nobody would get anything done.
No, we wouldn't get it done. Can you imagine if you lived 2 houses over? Forget about it.
It'd be ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous.
I'm telling you, this is the property. It's 10 acres or 8 acres, I think my wife said.
No, the area. I mean, they love the area too. Right when we pulled up, they love. You know what they love the idea of having a river that you can fish your own food out of in the backyard.
Good.
They've always asked since they were little for some reason. Because they see it like in movies.
Well, we planted 1 million fruit trees. You can have fruit. You can have crops. You can grow all your own organic vegetables and stuff like that. You can live off the fat of the land, as they like. Well,
to say they commented on the lambs too, or the sheep, because you know.
It's zoned agricultural. It's zoned agriculture, so you can have whatever you want. My wife wants to get a chicken coop so we can have fresh eggs every morning, and you could. The truth of the matter is that you could have cows on your property if you have enough acreage. You know, we only have 2 acres here, but there's, like I said, that lot two doors over is almost 8 acres. It's just got to be cleared a little bit, but maybe I'll start a cattle ranch over there, something like that. You never know.
You could do grass fed. Dave Palumbo's grass fed.
There you go.
Steaks.
Wow, my cat is meowing. I wonder what's going on. He must be telling me it's time to end the show. Yeah. Well, Chris, happy 50th birthday. If anyone hasn't wished Chris, the technician, a birthday, go to The Real Technician on Instagram and wish him a happy birthday, because he only turned 50 once. And so half your life is over now. I have you pegged at 100 years you're going to live. So you're on the second half of your life now you're going on. How does it feel?
You know what? I try not to think about it. I'm one of these people who get up every morning and say, I could be dead tomorrow. So
that's right.
And I try to live that way. So
you gotta, because a lot of people do wind up dying the next day and they don't even know it. They didn't live any life.
It's absolutely true. Yeah, they get on the plane where the pilot's driving drunk and flying drunk, and they crash that, or you just never know.
I got a lot more to do, so I think I'll be around for a while. But you never know. You never can tell. I think a lot. We've talked about this before. The people that kind of got everything out of their system already, they don't stay around as long. But you got a lot to do too. You got too many kids, and you got coaching to do, and I know when your kids are really like 17, 18, you're going to be a nutcase at all the sporting events, because then it's going to be for like college, scholarships and stuff like that. You'll be like one of these lunatic fathers they have to like remove from the field, probably, telling the coaches what to do.
They've already asked. I think I've told you that before about scholarships. I tell them that you get the real estate part for free, meaning you get to live there and eat their food. They just can't believe you get to eat free food.
Yeah.
They just free food to if you get a full scholarship, like you're an athlete or anyone.
Well, a lot of people can't tell. For people can't tell from the pictures, your sons, your two oldest sons, are very tall for their age. They're 12 years old. They're almost as tall as Chris already, and they got crazy athletic bodies. They're definitely going to be something good in some sport. I don't know what sport they're going to excel
we
at.
hope so.
But they're definitely going to be excellent athletes, that's for sure. And I know with you nurturing that whole aspect of it, they'll probably be world dominators,
I'm going to send them out against Cedric's kids for
Cedric's kids will be too lazy, though. That's the problem. They probably have great genetics, but they'll be too lazy like he is. They won't want to do anything. Your kids, all they want to do is do stuff. You know what I mean? They're super motivated. I've never seen kids that are so business motivated at that age.
Well, I'll leave you with this. They also wanted to know if you could build a boat dock.
I wanted to. Isn't that fun? I wanted.
And I
to
said,
build
why didn't
one.
you ask him when you were there?
They should have, because you know what? I want to build. This is what I want to do. You know where the path in my backyard goes? Kind of. There's like a path that goes out to the backyard. I wanted to continue that as a dock, basically, like a big walkway right out to a dock in the middle of that little river there. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I told Amanda that the other day.
Because they figured they could go out there and they
fish
thought
right
it would
off
be
there.
experience to fish. Yeah, not only off the dock, but take a little boat and go.
Absolutely.
Because a guy did go by in a canoe or a boat
they
or something.
canoe and people canoe and everything like that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the permitting situation is. I think people just build docks, and they won't worry about it. But I would love to build. I want a walkway right out to the dock, so like I could just walk right out of my house and walk around right down this wood dock and be on my looking over that river. Because I think otherwise it's hard because to walk down because it's like an embankment you have to walk down. It's not as easy. But if you can walk right across like a little walkway like they have at the beach.
Yeah. So you level the whole way.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going. I have I don't know where I'm going to eat today, but there'll probably be some bad food involved. I think I'm going to go get some pizza or something like that. This is my New Year's Eve treat for myself. And once again, happy birthday, Chris. And for now, we're out of time. Until next week, remember, with Heavy Muscle Radio,
the truth hurts.